Hi, the importance of the transaction processing system is that it organizes the day-to-day operations data, store and collect the organizational daily transaction. Also, it links the suppliers with the branches. In this video, we will talk about the transaction processing system of one of the largest fast food restaurants in the world, McDonald's. We will start with a brief background about McDonald's and the problem they have, then a description of the system that will solve their problem and how it would solve it. After that, we will know which management level that will implement that system and what technologies they will use for this kind of system. Also, we will explain the organizational impacts that McDonald's did implementing this type of system. Then we will finish by sharing our challenges and obstacles that we had during research and through making this project.
Information system, purpose and how it works. Transaction Processing System (TPS) is the collection, storage, modification, and retrieval of an organization transactions. It happens when two people perform an exchange and collect data about it, answering common queries and conducting business such as payroll, employee record keeping, or buying an employee, are all made easier with a transaction system, because transactions typically involve the exchange of money, which is crucial to any organization. It's critical to keep transaction data safe and secure. Every time McDonald's places an order with its supplier, a transaction takes place, and the transaction processing system records the relevant information, such as the supplier's name, address, the quality of the items purchased, and finally the invoice amount. Management level. Who implements the transaction processing system (TPS)? They are operational management. Is the organization of strategic policies to make the most elevated level of effectiveness conceivable inside an association. It is worried about changing over materials and work into labor and products as productively as conceivable to augment the benefit of an association. Operations management teams attempt to balance costs with the revenue to achieve the highest net operating profit possible.
In the next few slides, I will be talking about the components of the McDonald's TPS system, how data is collected from multiple data inputs, how data is processed through the Talent Data Fabric software, and how it is stored on the cloud. The first example of how data can be collected is through the kiosk, the self-service kiosk. Now, the self-service kiosk collects probably the most important piece of data that can be used, or one of the most important. That is the order sequence. How does the customer choose or makes the order? Which burger does the customer first clicks on? What sauce does the customer first choose? Or what burger does the customer change to, or the alternative products? Another benefit of the kiosk is wage cost. If you have a screen operating instead of a cashier, the operating cost, the cost of that screen is much lower than the wage of that worker on a yearly basis, and it allows employees to focus on making burgers and not taking orders from customers. The second type of data input is the smart menu. Now, the smart menu is continuously updated from a main cloud system. This means menus do not have to be printed all the time or each part of the year, and it can be the menu can use data collected by the TPS system, such as the weather data. For example, if tomorrow in Jeddah the weather is forecasted to be a hot and a humid day, it is most likely that you will find cold drinks, ice cream, to be promoted on the McDonald's Smart Menu. The next type of data input, which is probably the most useful data input, is the mobile platform. It collects a diverse range of data concerning the customer, such as the background, the age, and food order history. Specialized marketing packages packages can be personalized for each customer, enhancing customer engagement and achieving customer satisfaction. Also, the delivery and mobile order enhances the overall experience of eating at McDonald's. Now, moving on to the processing of data. McDonald's uses the Talent Data Fabric software. It uses it for data preparation, integration, and processing. The Talent Data Fabric works with the data storage cloud system of McDonald's. McDonald's uses Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure. This is uh, this is important for McDonald's because it lowers the cost, decentralized decentralizes the system, which means users can access it from anywhere, and McDonald's can focus on selling burgers and not IT services. It does not have to invest heavy in hardware or software, and instead it can work with third party companies such as AWS or Talent to create its customizable platform.
Explanation of the business. Business partner in McDonald's. McDonald's restaurants are always operated either by the company, by independent entrepreneurs, under the term of franchise arrangements, or by affiliates operating under license agreements. The McDonald's company generally shares the investment by owning or leasing the land and building, but franchisees contribute to the company revenue stream through payment of rent and service fees according to percent of sales, with a specific minimum rent payment, along with initial fees. The conventional franchise arrangements usually last 20 years, and franchising practices are generally consistent throughout the world. Organizational impact. In a typical year, McDonald's, like any other fast food company, would churn out work to take the brand from one promotion to the next in a set cadence. McDonald's engaged with a range of certain NGOs to help provide external insights and perspective that inform and shape our strategies and managements of ESG issues.
Comments on any issues, project challenges. For this case study, many challenges had to be endured in a small period of time. I will present some of them. Not being there in action. The case study we worked on was about a well-known company with many branches in our city. Yet none of us could go to a McDonald's restaurant and talk to a manager about the TPS. The TPS was an underlying for this case study. It was difficult to get info about it. A company such as McDonald's is very known for its secrecy. Not much is open to the public. So a very accurate research was made for the info we need. The strategy we approached for the study isn't the best. It was simply every person for himself, which made working together difficult. Separating the work, not contacting each other, wasn't the great for us. Which take me to the next issue we had working online. Working online and not in person was the biggest challenge, simply due to the lack of communication between most of us. If it was working with each other in person and not